Alright gentlemen, these videos are no holds barred. This is the exact advice I would give to anyone asking me for help with cooking and nutrition. Nothing is kept secret and nothing is omitted. For this reason, if you find that this video or any of my others in the past have helped you in any way, please do me a humongous favor. Scroll down in the description, click on the first link there. It's going to be my online course, which compiles all this knowledge about cooking and nutrition. It's going now for an exclusive pre-sale price. Thank you very much for your time, and let's get started. What takes less ingredients than an aglio e olio, takes less time to make than a carbonara, mogs spaghetti and meatballs in terms of flavor, and makes me vigorously shit myself for hours afterwards? Well, I'll tell you what, it's Marco's mother's pasta. Yeehaw! One part of this, descriptor was not part of the script. I'll let you guess which one. This is an extremely wholesome and simple sauce that combines just a couple of ingredients to make something truly greater than the sum of its parts. But if you mess it up like I did, it will turn out pretty bad. It will turn out a little bit shitty. The good thing is I know why, and I know why I messed it up, right? I know what can be fixed, and I'm not gonna be one of these fuckers who like burns water once and is like, I'm bad at cooking, I'm bad at whatever. No, I made a mistake. It all happens to everyone, and I'm gonna be taking you through what I did that was wrong. I'll give you a hint. It was overusing fat. Most people underuse it, but I fucking used way too much, and that on top of that, maybe one of the ingredients being a little bit potentially rotten, is what led to not a fun experience. It was super tasty at the time, but right now I just can't even think of it. So let's go on to the actual recipe, and I'll show you what to copy and what to do as I say, not as I do. This recipe comes from the great Marco Pure White, or he got it from his mom, and he shared it to the world. Very, very nice. So it's a pasta that his mom would make to him and his siblings. I don't know what siblings he has, whenever they were younger, and they didn't have a lot of time. And he modified it a little bit to actually give it flavor. So, as the past two recipes have started on this channel, we're going to start by chopping up some alliums. Yeehaw! So we're going to put on half an onion, as well as a fucking couple of garlic cloves, and then I'm going to show you how to slice them. It's going to be the basic, pretty fine dice, and for the garlic, we're just going to be slicing them thin lengthwise, so you'll see what I mean over here. One of the big mistakes here, I think I should have used a red onion. I think a red onion would have been very, like, a lot more acidic in a good way, and would have worked better with the bacon and whatever, because basically what it is, it's you cook these guys down with a bunch of bacon until it's like nice, soft, in an edible way, and then fucking tomato paste it up, and then add in the pasta and pasta water. Sounds like a wonderful idea, but the way I did it here, it resulted in disaster, so let me give you a few modifications. So first off, please use a red onion instead of this, because the white onion, once you cook it down, is mostly sweetness, and it doesn't like combat anything, right? Because the only thing there is to cut through all the fat in the recipe is the bacon, and that is like, oh, not the bacon, fuck me, it's a tomato paste, and that's not nearly enough. So as you can see here, we're scraping up all the very nice thingamabobbers, all the peels. This is like cleaning as you go. It's very important. On the right here, you caught me grain maxing, food pyramid maxing. Got some fucking bread over there. Highly unlucky. You can see the tomato paste that's gonna be over there, and you can also see the chicken stock powder that's you should be adding, right? That you should add like once you're folding everything together with the pasta, but I'm not gonna add until the very end because I forgot, because I have mental deficiencies. Okay, so we're gonna be putting in the pasta now. I'm using a honestly, I can't even tell from this angle. It was definitely a linguine fettuccine, one of those. I should know the difference. I think it was a linguine, yes. So you can see here the water isn't completely boiling, or even if it is, like, you can see it is boiling by the movement, but even if it isn't, when you completely put the pasta in, that's completely fine, because even if you have a boiling water, when you put in the pasta, it's going to lower the temperature a little bit, so all will be okay. Just bend it enough so that you can submerge it all, and then leave that in there for while we make the rest of the sauce. Now, here I get one of the other ingredients, the fucking main culprit. Here's a bunch of streaky bacon that may have been a little bit over the expiration date, and I didn't check, I don't know, but that was just one of my guesses. Now we're chopping this up like we would for carbonara. And, but honestly, for a carbonara, you would use a pancetta or guanciale if you can afford it. So, I also have gloves here because I absolutely fucking despise washing my hands like 9 times. So we're putting this into a cold pan with the rest of the ingredients on purpose, right? because if we sear it very quickly, then it's gonna seal in all the flavor. I mean, seal in all the flavor, yeah, but also the texture. It's gonna seal in the fat, and it's gonna be very chewy and unpleasant. So we're gonna oil this up liberally. This is way too much oil. This is the biggest tip. Don't use this much oil, because so much fat is gonna cook out of the bacon as well. So we're gonna be cooking these guys together, starting from no heat, turning it on to like a medium-ish. We want to be cooking these slowly so that the bacon renders out and gets to a nice edible temperature. Edible texture, not temperature. Whoops, I don't know what's wrong with me today. Hope you'll forgive me for my fucking indiscretions. This is gonna give us also time to cook the onions without a lot of color. Just get the water out of them, get the harshness out of them, as Marco Pierre White likes to call it. So we're gonna take our time here. It's gonna take a while for the pasta to cook, and it may not look like or fucking sound like much is happening right now because this clip I took the audio out of. But later on, you'll be able to see, you'll be able to hear what it sounds like. Again, not everything needs to be giga seared on turbo high heat and then fucking butter garlic thyme basted. I think like people just learn how to cook a steak and then apply the same principle to everything else, and they're like, oh, this is technically a meat, so I should giga blast it with the heat. No, that's not the case. You can see here now it's just starting to bubble, just starting to like anger up a little bit, flare up a little bit heat wise, and that's what we want. We want it to be cooked from the low heat, turned up higher. Look at that fucking oil. Look at all that oil. That is 100% why I got sick from eating this, guys. I know fat is amazing. Fat is very important for hormones, for testosterone, for everything. But man, when you see this and there's a fucking pool, you can hear it now. It's very nice. Here I'm draining the pasta, but reserving half a cup or like a full cup of the liquid, which you can see right there. But when it's this much fat, you have a problem. So the only other thing to cut through the richness, because I didn't use the red onion here, I'm going to be putting in the tomato paste. Yeah, but you can see just a fucking pool of lard, my guy. That's so disgusting. So I would strain off a good amount of this, definitely. And make sure the bacon is fresh and use the red onion. And maybe even a bit of tomato sauce. This would help. Yeah, I take off a bit of the fat because I'm like, holy fuck, there's no way this is healthy. But I still leave way too much in there. Yeah, just now I add the garlic in. Sorry if I didn't make that clear before. Hopefully you're watching the whole recipe before making it. Add the garlic in the last few minutes, otherwise it will undoubtedly burn because it has a lot less water than the onions and can take heat for a lot less time. Here we are. We're going in with some tomato paste. It's a good amount. It wasn't enough to cut through the fat. You can see there, it's just absolutely oily up the wazoo. Thank the Lord I used a good quality olive oil and not like fucking some other seed oil, because that would have killed. So then we combine this with the pasta and then pour over top the pasta water, and then we'll hear a little bit of sizzling, a little bit of like, I'm angry from the pan. It's okay, just the pan will calm itself down. Just mix everything up. And also, Nobel Peace Prize at $1 million goes to anyone who knows how to keep the fucking bacon pieces from going to the edge, and who knows how to actually incorporate them in the middle. It's so annoying. They just fucking, it's like a creepers in Minecraft when you put down an ocelot. It just like goes to the side instantly. So you can see there, it's getting into kind of a cohesive sauce, and it was super tasty at the time. Again, don't let this make you think that it's not a good recipe. Just the way in which I made it and the amount of fucking fat I used, like, holy shit, it was really, really, really bad. The after effects. Again, very tasty at the time, but not the best. Not the best outcome. Now I'm gonna be grinding on a bunch of pepper. This pepper grinder is fucking bottleneck like crazy, so the experience wasn't that nice. But it took a lot longer to grind on a relatively small amount of pepper, but it's fine. So for the plating, here we go. Yeah, twirl on, make nice little mounds. I'm pretty sure I plated this nicely. I think I plated this very nicely. Just gotta make sure your mound is good. Kind of drop it a little bit because of fucking the oil is like, you know, making it slippery, and my little bit lack of skill, but that's fine. So not all is well, nothing is lost. You can see how I twirl it on the plate to give it some height, some verticality, and then the garnishes is basically just gonna be, look at all the fucking oil, bro. Yeah, that's why I'm genuinely getting not goosebumps, it's not butterflies in my stomach. I'm getting a severe fucking colon spasms just from looking at this. So we top it off with the rest of the bacon, get a bit more of the oil in there because that's at the time it seemed like a great idea. And grind on some more pepper, is I'm sure what I do here, as well as top it with the chicken stock powder that I should have mixed into the mixture earlier when I was tossing everything together. So overall, the flavor profile, it's like a tomato-y carbonara without the egg or the parmesan. You can imagine what that's like. Super tasty. I ate this whole fucking serving. It's all the while, whatever. And then I made then I made some more for my fucking parents. Bro, they didn't have a problem with it for whatever reason. They thought it was a little heavy, but they didn't have a problem with it. So thank you for bearing with me. Make those modifications, like I suggested. The red onion, not nearly as much oil. Fucking skim that bitch off, and maybe a little bit of tomato sauce as well, in addition to the paste, just a tiny bit, and get like a lemony seltzer water to have with it. Thank you very much for watching. Wow, that was a nice voice crack. Thank you very much for watching, and remember, you may not have a lot of time, but you do have enough.